Every day, there are 146,000 abortions performed. Since 1977, there has been over 147 billion performed. Today, I will argue that abortion should be illegal and every baby deserves to live. My story, pre-pregnancy, I was pro-abortion. I thought that I could not have a kid. There was no way I could do it. I was a cheerleader, I did pageants, very athletic, very determined in school. I thought there's no way I can take my time out of my day to take care of the baby. Well, when I found out, I told Justin, and I went and I had that ultrasound. And when I had that ultrasound, it changed my life forever. I heard the heartbeat, and what I thought to myself was, there's a baby inside of me. I can't kill this baby. Then I said, how am I going to tell my parents? And I knew how my parents were going to react. They were going to kick me out. I would not have a car or a phone. I would lose. They would basically disown me. But when I did tell them, I was right. I still do not live with my mom. They didn't take my car away, but I did not use it because they would hold it over my head. They were going to cut my phone off, but they did not. So to this day, I'm now con. I think every baby does deserve to live, and today, if you're a pro-abortion, I hope to persuade you that you should not, because every baby does deserve to live. Abortion is murder, and that's my opinion. The preview of my speech today will contain how the abortion is performed, the biological factors, the psychological factors, and the other options you can choose. First, I will talk about how it is performed. An abortion is performed in two ways, through suction and through pill form. First, I'll talk about suction. You go into a place called Planned Parenthood, for instance. You go in and they give you laughing gas, so it's not as painful, but it is very painful. They go in, they vacuum the baby out. After, they can use their organs, and they do sell them. After that's performed, you get a D&C of what the baby has left after it is vacuumed out. Another way is through pill form, and the pills are made through chemicals. They give you 4 of them. You go home, you take them, and they make your body go into labor where you pass the baby on your own in your own home. I have a friend that she shared her story on Facebook. She took the pills, and let's keep in mind, she already had 1 baby. So this is very shocking to me. She took the pills, and 4 hours later, she went into labor. And when she went into labor, she passed the baby in her bathroom. She called her mom because it was so devastating to her. There are psychological factors that I will talk about in a minute that she said instantly hit her. She had this abortion because she could not afford insurance. She didn't know how to take care of 2 children. She thought 1 was too hard, but she didn't know every baby was a blessing, but she still went through with it. She held that baby in her hand. The baby was half the size of her palm, and it already had 10 fingers and toes. That's at 9 weeks. And that's when people usually find out they're pregnant and have an abortion. Abortion can lead to PID, which is pelvic inflammatory disease, which can lead to every female not to be able to have children ever again. 23% of women are higher risk for STDs after the abortion, and 50% are higher for breast cancer. If you visit RahmanInternational.org/abortion, you can get more info on how the abortion is performed. Next, I will talk about the biological factors and the stages. Every biologist and psychologist refers to the baby as a living human being because it is living and it's not a fetus to them, it is a baby. Week 1 is the fertilization stage where the sperm and the egg meet in the fallopian tube. Week 2 is called the implantation, where the baby moves to the uterus and attaches to the uterine wall. And week 3 is called the gastrulation stage, and that is where the organs become functional and they start growing. Week 4 is where the organs are functional, and week 4 through 8 is where the baby can start chewing and breathing, and furthermore through the umbilical cord. The fetal period is weeks 9 through 40, and that's where the human appearance starts to come. Biologicalreference.com will show you more info about all the steps. Thirdly, I will talk about the psychological factors that I talked about previously. 40 to 60% of women have negative reactions. 50% have to seek medical attention, and that's a lot out of 146,000 every day that have an abortion. 44 complain about nervous disorders like anxiety. 36 have sleep disturbances where they have dreams of the performed abortion, and that is very true. Brittany says she had that. 31 regret their decision, and Brittany had that also. 35 tried to become pregnant right after, but cannot because of PID, which leads to inability to have children. So that's why that percentage is so low. Abortionfacts.com has all the other statistics that you can have about the abortion. Next, I'll talk about the options. The other options you can choose is called adoption. Adoption, there's two of them. It's open and closed. Open is where you can have communication with your baby, but you have zero custody rights. Closed is where you have zero communication and zero custody rights. My aunt adopted my cousin, and my family, as rude as they are, they thought that was very rude of my aunt to adopt a baby. Now, they don't think so. My cousin, his biological mother, reached out to my aunt through closed adoption, and wanted to meet Caleb. My aunt willingly let Caleb meet his biological mom. She didn't tell him that that's his mom, but she knew that that was his mom. AmericanAdoptions.com will show you more of the adoption process. In conclusion to my speech, I hope I persuaded you that abortion is murder and every baby deserves to live. I spoke about the surgery, the biological factors, the psychological factors, and the other options you can take. I hope that I gave you awareness of how the doctors perform the surgery and how it can affect you in many ways. It can affect you mentally, physically, and emotionally. It is very sad, and a baby's innocent. It didn't deserve to be killed. WeWomen.com, if you go to that page, there's a story, and it's just like Brittany's story. She'll tell you of how she thought she should have an abortion and how she shouldn't, and she didn't, thank God. So if you visit that, that is very awesome. Thank you for listening. I hope you appreciate it.